University of Alabama campus at Tuscaloosa is under a tight security guard of state police as Governor George Wallace appeals for calm and prepares to confront a deputy U.S. attorney. The federal officers are armed with a proclamation from President Kennedy urging the governor to end his efforts to prevent 2 Negro students from registering at the university. The governor is adamant. He made a campaign promise to stand in the doorway himself to prevent the integration of the last all-white state university. After the federal officers leave, there's a lull of several hours while President Kennedy federalizes the Alabama National Guard and they move to the campus. Brigadier General Henry Graham arrives to tell the governor, "It's my sad duty to ask you to step aside on orders of the President of the United States." The governor yields to federal authority, but promises to continue what he terms a constitutional fight. There was no untoward incident at any time during this confrontation of state and federal authority. Five minutes after the governor leaves, James Hood is the first of his race to become a University of Alabama student. He is followed into the registrar's office by Vivian Malone. Both the students are 20 years old and will take summer courses. From the White House that evening, President Kennedy makes an appeal to the nation. He says that the U.S. is facing a moral crisis and that it is the duty of all to uphold the law.
Fires of frustration and discord are burning in every city, north and south. Where legal remedies are not at hand, redress is sought in the streets, in demonstrations, parades, and protests, which create tensions and threaten violence and threaten lives. We face, therefore, a moral crisis as a country and a people. We have a right to expect that the Negro community will be responsible, will uphold the law, but they have a right to expect that the law will be fair, that the Constitution will be colorblind, as Justice Harlan said at the turn of the century. This is what we're talking about, and this is a matter which concerns this country and what it stands for. And in meeting it, I ask the support of all of our citizens. Thank you very much.
France opens her 25th annual air show by unveiling some radical craft. President Charles De Gaulle is on hand to see a truck-carrying helicopter, a giant of a whirlybird designed for cargo handling in peace or war. France is pushing her air development program as part of a campaign to make France a major power on the international scene. Stealing the show is this supersonic fighter that is capable of coming to a dead stop in midair. GAULLE sees wonders on every hand. There's a demonstration of the U.S. rocket-borne infantryman, like something out of the pages of science fiction. A self-propelled soldier can leap 60 feet in the air and travel over obstructions at 80 miles an hour. The possibilities of this device are unlimited, but we'll just look. You know, look before you leap. June 6, 1944, and the greatest armada in military history is assembled in England for an assault on Hitler's fortress Europe. For this long-awaited D-Day, the Allies have assembled 12,000 planes to protect a surface force of 4,000 ships, all under the supreme command of General Dwight D. Eisenhower, who has British General Montgomery at his side. The Allied forces have nearly 3 million troops trained for the assault, and British and U.S. planes bomb the French coast around the clock, dropping 9,000 tons of explosives during a few hours before the landings. An awesome force of 1,000 planes and gliders thrusts deep into France to drop men of the U.S. 101st and 82nd Airborne and the British 6th. Their might darkens the skies over Normandy. Have complete control of the air and cover the surface forces as Allied troops pile into landing craft to hit the coast from Cherbourg to Le Havre. As they prepare to move in, 500 warships lay down a withering barrage. Troops move in aboard LCTs and LSTs, and it's the beginning of the end for Hitler's dreams of world conquest. German resistance proves less than was feared, and wave after wave hits the beach. Casualties were heavy in those early hours, but the Allies were on their way to Berlin. The stupendous attack on the fortified coast split the German high command. General Rommel wanted to move his forces to the beaches, while Rundstedt wanted to wait until the Allies moved inland. When they finally decided on action, it was too late. The beachhead had been firmly established. Less than a year later, General Eisenhower had Germany's unconditional surrender. D-Day will stand in history as one of the greatest military feats of all time. The determination of free men to triumph over tyranny rose to new heights on the beaches of Normandy.